So why should I allow him, or why should I let him go through all that if I hate that or if I don't like that? Why would God allow himself, frustrate himself if he says, if, God doesn't like frustration. In the Quran it is written, God does not like frustration. Why would he allow that? He would not do that. Because the more he allows certain things to go on, the more complicated things become. Abraham is out there finding his life, and the promise of God has taken a long time. And God knew that that's what, if he takes a long time to respond, Abraham will end up sleeping with the wife, will suggest something and he will sleep with his maid. And God doesn't like that, and then he say, okay, still I'll wait. As if God doesn't know that Abraham was going to fail the test and sleep with the maid. God also knows that he will fail. So why will God still wait and see whether Abraham has got his own mind? Even if Abraham has his own mind, as independent mind, somehow that means God doesn't even know. God knows the future of Abraham. He won't worry himself waiting to know. The things that he knows will happen that he doesn't like, he will prevent them from happening. But if God allows it to happen, God will not turn around and judge Abraham and condemn him and say, hey, why did you sleep with your maid to have a child? But anyway, the Bible does not say of God being angry with anybody or anything. But I'm comparing that to our everyday life, to what we have today. I'm comparing that to the ones that we'll be reading about Bathsheba, David and Bathsheba, adultery. That was a typical adultery we see. We talk about, we can see it as adultery. Why would God have a problem with adultery? But if the story is really true, at a point you realize that even the son that was born after the first one who died, Solomon, from the same woman who is condemned as being adulterous people, the story says that the people probably were the one who got angry because they also got angry because God said it's an adulterous thing. That's what. If there was no law of adultery by God there, the people would also not go angry. But the people go angry because why? Is David better than anybody? Why should David adulterate and you don't talk about it? So they will revolt. And they will ask him to enter into the presence of God. Let's see if he will go in there and come out free. He went in and come out quite with no problem. So God has not got issue with these things. Now, how Moses got the law, nobody can really tell. Maybe he did really got the law. Some spiritual inspiration, who knows? Today there's no evidence there, but we hold on to it. There are others who are holding on to this too, as well. And that is what I am suggesting, that the trap, this is a trapping us, not because we are giving ourselves room for it to trap us, but if we allow ourselves to understanding, real understanding, it will not be able to trap us. We will see things in the right way. We will open ourselves in the right way. We will have a very sound and quiet and easy approach to our life. We will not be disturbed, and guilt will not rise into us, developing any bad, unhealthy situation for us. We will have a positive drive to life. And that is what we want to look at. Because Abraham now has slept with his maid. It's okay. Ishmael had to be blessed by God as well, and have his own family stretched somewhere else and all that. At the end of the day, I remember a maid was driven out of the house. He had to walk on the desert somewhere. God spoke to her, and she found a place to settle by the help of God or an angel, whichever way, And Abraham's wife then later began to have a child when his heart got pregnant, and as the promise came to bear, and now he had a son, an only son, Isaac, And so Isaac now became the heir of the place, because he has been born by Sarah, who is the true wife of Abraham. Now, when Abraham has to end up in the hands of Pharaoh and saying that Sarah was his sister, so that Pharaoh will not, kill him, Abraham, because his wife was beautiful, and if he's that beautiful, he's your wife, and I want him, I'll take your life so I can, have her to myself. Probably if you are dead, then I can be with your wife. And then he says, he's my sister. And somehow, Pharaoh found out that it was a lie. And he didn't really kill him or anything. He says, hey, it's your wife. But if you have told me the truth, I will not end up, I will not even think of sleeping with her or being with her. But you lied to me anyway. You got all the properties. I paid you dues for giving me your sister. Take all that property and go. The prophet of God had to lie for his own life. I mean, what was he afraid of? If he dies, he's going to heaven. If Abraham died, he's going to heaven. Maybe that day he wasn't prepared or know that he will go to heaven or he's not going to heaven. But at the end of whatever time, God is all with you. God walk with you. God gave you a dream, promise you. And if you die, you are going straight to God. So why are you worried that a Pharaoh is going to kill you? If Pharaoh decides to kill you, what's your problem? That gives you something to think that maybe there is an issue there. Maybe, just maybe, that somehow the story has not been put straight. Abraham should not fear death, nor should he fear any other. He should live his life knowing that if it ends today, fine. I'm already friend to God, and God talks to me, and I'm going to God. What's the problem? That's more better. So yeah, if death is the answer to things, yeah, let me go. But even that time, even not Abraham, the father of faith, the father of all the generation, including myself, everybody, not ready to die, that he himself feared to die. He didn't want to die by the hands of Pharaoh or anybody, with all God being with him. Then Abraham went out from Egypt. So Abraham had to leave Egypt because the Pharaoh asked him to leave. And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, Genesis 13, verse 3. And placed a tent, where he had where his tent had been at the beginning between Bethel and to the place of the altar which he had made there at first. And there Abraham called on the name of the Lord. Lot also, who went with Abraham. That's the cousin. And I see the writings of Lot also in the Quran. The cousin of Lot, he had flocks and herds and tents, knew the land was not able to support them, that they might dwell together, for their possessions were so great that they could not dwell together. And there was strife between the herdsmen and Abraham's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock and Canaanites. Now, this was the rivalry between Abraham's livestock and Lot's, because they were having issues with they were all rearing animals. They all have this cattle, head of sheep and all that. And there was problem there, so they have to separate themselves as a result. Abraham said to Lot, please let there be no strife between you and me. The herdsmen and my herdsmen fighting each other. We are okay, but they are arguing, and so let's just have that peace. The only peaceful means is you go your way, I go my way. Another separation. And Lot left his eyes, and he chose a place and he went. And Abraham also chose his place and he went. Where Lot went is a very fruitful land, but Abraham didn't care where he would go because he believed that God is with him. Somehow Lot went to his place where he can find food and settle there with his family. And the story goes on, and God continue confirm his promise to Abraham. He will make his descendants like what? The dust of the earth, so that if a man could number the dust of the earth, then your descendants also could be numbered. Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I gave it to you. The land, God is giving him the land. And Abraham moved his tents and went and dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre, which are a Hebron, and built an altar there to the Lord. So here Abraham had a promise from God, and he's got a place to settle from there, and promised by God that his descendant will be like a sand on the earth, and they'll be uncountable. And now, whether it's talking about the Jews, but his descendants all in his lifetime.